Hello everyone, as you can see today we're moving on from Minecraft. I've decided that for old time's sake I would do a bit of myth hunting on Roblox. Although myth hunting, and Roblox myths in general, have fallen to obscurity for the most part, I continue to look at them fondly and I wish that there was still a more active community keeping them. Though many people say that, so I decided to see what I could find using this game called RMH Myth Places to investigate. As it randomly select a myth game you can investigate. The game that ended up being selected is named Church A. It is owned by a user named Monica Akari and it was made this year, which means that this myth is still quite new. Akari owns two games, Church A, which we're playing in this video, and another called Street H. However, I'm only looking at Church A today. For the sake of myth hunting's longevity, I hope that if you're watching, you also decide to do a bit of investigating and theory crafting, as myth games serve that need for me. Although I would often just opt for hearing the stories surrounding a game, rather than investigating them myself. However, today I'm taking a more investigative role. The commentary in this video will mainly be reflections on what I found in the game. These first two people I found belong in a band named Anisha. Though I'm unsure of the importance of these two characters, I'll tell you a bit about what the name could mean. See, the name Anisha itself can carry many meanings depending on the language. However, it often has meanings associated with life, power, and authority. The game itself is about a church, and that could carry the idea of power. In a way, the people belonging to Anisha are hunkered down, as the road to their show is blocked. Perhaps they're stuck here for a reason? The locations in this game feel quite small. What I mean by that is that, from what I was able to see, these places didn't seem to have much to them. Church A features three locations: the waterfall, a big lake, and what I think is the most important location, the church itself. There's people to the far side of the spawning location, and the lake. Unlike the people by the blocked-off tunnel, the person in the lake seems to be here quite purposefully. He seems nervous to have been spotted, but I'm not sure who this man is, or why he's nervous about being seen. There are other locations in the game, though they seem quite empty, not really having any details, at least from what I was able to find. The church itself was a bit more eerie, mostly because of the bell noise. After I scoped the surroundings out, I figured out how to enter the church. You simply find a key using a bucket and placing it in the well. There are many buckets around, including at the big lake, but there seemed to only be one well, by the church. After attempting to enter the church, you'll see this figure with red eyes approach you. It's unclear who or what this red-eyed figure is. However, once inside the church you will find the man on the cross to be a deer-headed, red-eyed man. It's my theory that these two are the same. Whether or not the humanoid figure on the cross is a human or not, is unclear. However, there does seem to be contrast in the church, as the figure on the front of the pews is not the same as the figure hung up above the church's entrance. That figure has white eyes, though they share many other physical appearances. What I find most odd about this place is the presence of another person, who appears to be hunting for something. This could be a reference to myth hunting, or perhaps he's hunting for the figure that dragged us in here to begin with. It's unclear whether or not he was dragged into the church as well. There are many elements within this church aside from the figures and person. There's many dry blood stains, a teddy bear, and 2 notes. It appears like the cult members met their end. Whether this was on purpose or not is unclear. However, the presence of the teddy bear suggests that the worshippers varied in age, so there were children who may have participated in the worshipping. Now, not all cults are death cults, and it's my opinion that the deaths of the cult members was purposeful, though it wasn't suicide. Not directly, at least. The fact that there was a figure who dragged us into this church, one which did not appear humanoid, suggests that there is some otherworldly elements at play. There was also an electricity box in the church which was tied to a lantern, but I didn't find the key for it, so as of now there's not much I can say about that. The 2 notes were quite different. One reads, "Why was I chosen?" with a number code on its back. That number code could either be 8661 or 1998. I'm unsure of what the numbers could mean, but the text suggests that there may have been a sacrifice committed, one with someone who appeared to hesitate being sacrificed. The other note is a poem. There's a listing of several verbs, broken by the word imprisonment. Perhaps there was a transformation which took place, one in which a person was transformed into that red-eyed figure who dragged us in. There wasn't much else I found in the church, other than a bird which rests on the church's support beams. It hasn't done anything but chirp. However, birds often carry a symbolic meaning of liberty and freedom. The fact that there's a bird seemingly here, immobile, could be a nod to the imprisonment felt by this mysterious person. That is all for today. Thank you for watching this video. I apologize for not uploading in a while. The truth is that uploading Minecraft videos exclusively ended up a little boring. I wish to do more varied things in my content in the future. Although some real-life stuff seems fun, I'm unsure of how to do that while maintaining this absolute privacy I've stuck to thus far. However, any other content ideas are more than welcome. With that, I'd like to once again thank you for watching. If there's any theories you may have given what we've covered in the video, please comment them down below. I'll also recommend you play this game yourself, as myth hunting can be very fun, especially with friends. Thank you.